crypto warriors, changing our world day by day. The way of the crypto warriors, can't rely on the bankers, no way.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadtoroad.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of chaga coffee. I don't even know where to start today. There's so much going on. We're in the chaos, and we're going to hit massive chaos the end of this quarter, which is now, through this crazy election cycle, if it happens, into massive earth changes. This is all happening between now and the end of the year. So for the next 3 months, we're in the shit. We're in the shit. Keep an eye on Space Weather Live. Keep an eye on what's going on with the sun, with the solar activity, with the energetic exchange between the planets. You name it, it can happen, and it will happen, I believe. This is it. We're here. So keep an eye on that. I like watching this space weather because they give me an update, a live update on my phone if something crazy happens. I got beeped this morning that I don't even know what it was. It was the KP index is going to rise to 4 tomorrow. Whatever that is. I don't know. It's solar activity. Or geomagnetic, or what is it? What is it? It'll tell me right here. It's a cool site. KP index is the Global Geomagnetic Activity Index. The planets are magnets, and they're all on the same side of the sun at the moment, which has caused havoc and cataclysms in the past. Who knows? Who knows? There's nothing you can do about it. It's going to happen. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So last night, I was watching my buddy JC talk about, he was just complaining that YouTube and his guests are backing out, and he was complaining. And I chimed in. He's like, hey, we want you to come on. And so we had a chat, and we got into some stuff that I think, well, I wasn't prepared to talk about, but I've been talking about it for the last 20 years, that there can be no deciders in this, the new financial system. And the new bullshit is some quantum financial system. I'm not saying that the bad guys don't want it to happen. What I'm saying is it doesn't fix the problem. And the plan was always to create so much money, so many instruments of financial wealth, to get it in the hands of the bad guys and then to pull the plug. Pull the plug meaning no bailouts. And then everybody loses everything. They're checking their savings, their 401k, the whole deal. Everybody's so mad at those who got us in this place in the first place, they don't allow them to pull some bullshit with XRP or Ripple or whatever they want to do. The freedom funds, the Gesra, Nesra, it's all bullshit, and we've heard it time and time again, and I tried to explain that to JC and some of the people. They'll get it. I mean, we're going to have to go through this crap, and no, I think XRP is going to go to zero. Why? Because it's a handful of bankers who invented a cryptocurrency that anybody could do the same thing. Anybody within the banking system, JP Morgan already said, oh, we could do the same thing if we wanted. Or the Federal Reserve could do it. They're not going to rely on XRP so that the XRP bag holders are going to get rich. Good luck with that. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I try to explain that. But I hadn't seen a discussion with Charlie Ward and Carrie Cassidy. Me and Carrie Cassidy go back to an interview I did with her. It's like, she just doesn't understand it. Unless she's told by somebody in the know, she doesn't understand it. And Charlie even said he didn't understand what the hell was going on. So, I have a problem with people who are told by somebody else. I have this authoritative, because I've been hearing it for so long. Whatever happened to the Iraqi dinar people? Whatever happened to the Gesra and Nesra? And you name it, there's been so many plans to start a new financial system when the old one crashes. And the reality is they've built the old one so big with so many quadrillions, quintillions, infinity money. There's infinity money being created out of thin air right now. And that's what people don't understand. You cannot fix this broken system without destroying everything first. And then it's up to the people on how they want to reallocate money. And they are not going to choose XRP or any kind of banker solution. I'm sorry, guys. The bankers are the ones holding the bag of these toxic assets. Look at JP Morgan's book of $59 trillion. $59 trillion of derivatives that have gone bad, and they can't get out of it. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Create a new financial system with XRP and let JP Morgan hold their $59 trillion and pretend it doesn't happen? No, it's not going to happen. So XRP, Hopium people, I get they hire a lot of trolls to go around and troll people. Fine. Whatever you want to do, if you want to invest in XRP, go for it. If you believe in the Ripple Corporation, it's just so ridiculous on the face of it because they don't even understand the scope of the problem. The Fed is creating trillions of dollars and not telling a soul. So the only way to get rid of that is to get rid of the old system altogether. They are hiding 99.9% of this created money that they don't tell anybody about behind the scenes. Catherine Austin Fitts is just scratching the surface. I don't know. I think they're like $150 trillion that they've discovered. Now, this is just on the books. This is stuff they can prove. It's like Ted Butler. Ted Butler only relies on the stuff he can prove about silver manipulation, and he proves it time and time again. And the CFTC is hired to run cover, not to regulate those markets. So I'm sorry, all you quantum financial people. It ain't gonna happen. It will be mass chaos, and then we'll figure out a way over time. I'm not saying they're not going to try to do it. It's just that no one's going to believe them, and no one's going to follow their lead anymore. It's kind of like saying, yeah, the IMF's going to create these special drawing rights for everybody, and they're going to control the monetary system, or the World Bank's going to control the monetary system, or the Rothschilds, or the Fed. It's all over. Their game is over. So no, XRP is not going to be the new quantum financial system. They throw the word quantum in there to make it sound like it's some amazing thing. It's ridiculous. Anybody could create XRP and say, oh, okay, this is the way it's going to be. And it just happened to be done by a couple bankers who got a couple other bankers to buy into it. But they're not going to control the system in the future. So, sorry, XRP holders. We'll see what happens, though, right? Hey, place your bets. Place your bets on the end of the world. Speaking of the end of the world, I did discuss one thing with JC. He was like, well, when the debates happen and the election happens, I don't think there's going to be an election. I'd be really surprised if there was a debate. And this is a short-term prediction. In 7 days, there's supposed to be a debate between Trump and the Weekend at Bernie's guy, Joe Biden. Joe Biden, all of a sudden, look at this. They threw a little monkey wrench in Joe Biden's corner. Hunter Biden raised counterintelligence and extortion concerns, may have participated in sex trafficking, is the Senate report. Of course he did. What do you think, Joe Biden and Obama, and they're all knee-deep in this stuff. Trump's pulling out this stuff right now. He's not going after Biden, you notice, but Biden's going to have to defend his son. Biden can't even defend himself. Biden can't even change his underwear. So this debate, I'd give a 1% chance of it happening. I don't think it's going to happen. And if it did happen, give me some popcorn, baby. Can you imagine? Joe Biden can barely finish a sentence. And I was worried that we'd have like a CNN moderator. Chris Wallace is doing it, he's about as middle as you can get. I don't think he's going to ask Biden any really hard questions because Biden won't know anything other than what he's scripted to say. Now, I would recommend that Trump have each contestant be scanned for listening devices, stuff like that Hillary wore during one of the debates. Check under the podiums. That's why Trump was circling around Hillary, because she kept looking at her little secret monitor she had on her podium. This is the kind of cheating and stealing, and they provide the questions and the answers to one party and not the other. And there's a Fox News anchor. I forgot her name. She was the head of the DNC, and she or wasn't the head of the DNC. I don't remember exactly who she was. She's an African American woman, and she's the expert moderator on the Democratic Party over there. And I'm like, she was busted for cheating during a debate. She provided the questions ahead of time to Hillary Clinton, and they have the emails for that. And why isn't she in jail? And then she got called on it, and she said, "How dare you accuse me of?" And then they had the emails of exactly what she sent to Hillary. That's our world, my friends. Again, grab your popcorn, grab your lounge chair. We're in the midst of the insanity is going to get 50 times worse. 50 times worse. And yes, of course, they're going to continue to rig silver. As long as they have that little mouse to click and the criminal exchange called the COMEX, which is the only exchange for silver on planet Earth, they're going to rig it. And I do believe at some point, bang, it just ends. There's not going to be a moonshot, and there's not going to be a crash down to zero. They could do that with a computer click. We're going to have computers running up against computers, and the battle is on, and then the system stops. And it'll be brief. It'll have a couple short stops, and then all of a sudden, bang, it just stops. Because nobody knows the true fair market value of silver. This is your last chance to buy silver. Below how many thousands of dollars, I don't even know. Physical silver in your own possession, everything else will be worthless, including mining stocks. Mining stocks require the rest of the financial system to stay intact. And that's not going to happen. So, here we go. Here we go, my friends. Get your physical silver in your own possession. Silver is trading at $23.46. I guarantee you can't find silver anywhere at that price. Go try. Go try to find silver at $23.46. Why do they even say that if it's not true? Because it's rigged. 99% of all trades are these 8 banks who are short, trading back and forth, hoping beyond hope that somebody sells them their silver contract so they can cover 350 million ounces of short positions, all of them underwater. So when they buy back that short position, that's another hit they're going to take in the third quarter. So when is this going to end? When is the artificial suppression of silver going to end? I would say by the third quarter, so that's another week and a half. You think you can hodl for a week and a half? Really? I've been hodling silver for 20 years. You can hodl for another week and a half, don't worry. And then we have mark to market, okay? So they got 350 million ounce short position. What happens if the good guys come in and all of a sudden Steve Mnuchin is directed by somebody to say, click that mouse, I want silver to go to $50 by the end of the month. And then they're going to have to mark to market a $26 loss from where we are today per $26 times 350 million. That's the kind of world we live in. If you play by these manipulative, cheating rules, you're going to get stung. You play with the bulls, you're going to get the horn at some point. They haven't gotten the horn in 50 years that this has been going on. But then again, they haven't lost money. And this year, they've sat there and lost money and lost money and lost money and declared they're getting out, they're getting out, they're getting out. JP Morgan will be the final blow. When they announced that JP Morgan has either settled at some hundreds of millions of dollars or maybe even billions of dollars for their silver gold manipulation, although they rig every market. Along with BlackRock these days, they're trying to pass off the short position of BlackRock. I don't know if it's going to happen. We'll find out. So that's where we are in silver. It's a gift. If you're a silver investor and weren't planning to sell in the next 2 weeks, this is a gift. Thank you, Silver Cabal, for keeping the price of silver so low that so many people can find out about it, get it in their own possession, and watch the fireworks. So there you go. All right, everybody and their mother is asking me about Theta because Theta's up. I mean, the all-time high before was like 16 cents. Why? Why is Theta going up? Because it solves a gigantic problem, and that's bandwidth on the internet. Broadband, it increases, it's a decentralized way to increase the size, speed, scope of the internet. It's the internet 2.0. It's going to be doing smart contracts in the fourth quarter, which is the Ethereum 2.0 is Theta. It's faster. It's a hell of a lot faster and ridiculously cheaper. Go send a transaction on Ethereum using any of the ERC20 tokens, and then go send a transaction on Theta. And tell me which blockchain would you prefer? at some point very soon, Theta is going to announce that they're dropping the minimum amount of Theta tokens available for the Guardian node from 10,000 to 1,000 as the price goes up, which means thousands of more people will be guarding the Theta mainnet blockchain. It's amazing stuff. It's like buying Bitcoin at 57 cents. You have your shot right now. It won't be long that this is going to jump so fast. When Coinbase announces it, there's so many people in the US. So many people in the US who want to get Theta. They just don't know how to do it. If you go to roadtoroot.com on the private road, I explain it. Here's how you do it. Here's how you do it. Every day you wait we get closer and closer to the Coinbase adding Theta, and all of a sudden, boom. You can buy it on Coinbase, but it's going to cost you a hell of a lot more than 57 cents. And they got video on demand coming out any day. I think it'll be next week. I think it was scheduled for the fourth quarter, but I think there's so many rumors out there that the video on demand is going to happen. And this is one of a dozen things that are in the hopper for this year. So, yes, Theta is up massively. Yes, it's massively undervalued compared to what it's going to be doing. If you like cryptos, a crypto world is not possible with a hell of a lot faster internet speeds and broadband spectrum. The ability for the Internet of Things, the ability for cryptos to take over everything requires massive speeds of downloading and broadband. That's what Theta is taking care of. So you're aligning all your interests with the good guys, the bad guys. Everybody is aligned and required. It's required. The Internet of Things that is coming is required to have fast internet. And the only way to do that, they're having huge problems right now with all this, the video streaming and all of that. It's just everything's filling up in the centralized form of the internet we have today. With the CDNs, bottlenecks are unbelievable. And they knew it was coming. That's why they invented this thing 2 years ago. So, don't wait. Join the private road today. I'll teach you how to do it. The goal of this private road page is to get private road members into a position where they can safely buy, store, and stake Theta token. That's what this teaches you how to do. If you want to learn about Theta, go online and just do some searches. Everybody's starting to figure this out. And one day the crypto people will. The crypto people have not invested in Theta. The vast majority of them have not invested in Theta. Because they don't understand it. It's a technology company. It's not necessarily a crypto. Oh, by the way, it's run by a crypto protocol that is a cryptocurrency and is required. Theta Fuel will be bought by Netflix, by YouTube, because it's a hell of a lot cheaper than paying a CDN, which is running out of room. Anyway, right now Theta is number 35, 36 on the list. 35 on the list, just below $5 billion market cap. Before the end of the year, I expect Theta to be in the top 10, which would make it, in relation to everything else, it's about a 3, so it's 6x move by the end of the year compared to other cryptos. That's what I expect. And how does that happen? It happens when Coinbase brings it on. Who in their right mind is going to sell? Cryptos move so fast because they're a little more freely traded. Not a lot. Obviously, massive volumes go on in the top 10. Look at this. Look at Chainlink. In the last 24 hours, 1.2 billion has traded, and all of Chainlink, everything that's ever been created on Chainlink is only 3 billion. Obviously, it's pure fraud. Anyway, I can give you 50 million other reasons, and I will, to get your hands on some Theta, swap out some Litecoin, some Bitcoin, some Chainlink, some Cardano, Bitcoin Cash, EOS. Well, obviously you should sell all your EOS for other reasons. But you need a substantial portion in Theta because Theta is going to power the rest of the world moving forward. You want cryptos, you're going to need bandwidth. You want the Internet of Things, you're going to need bandwidth. You want smart contracts, you're going to need a real fast blockchain and really low prices. You're going to need Theta. All right, go to roadrooter.com, hit subscribe today, and you can get yourself 50 Theta and 50 Theta fuel, loaded on paper wallet, sent to your front door. Also, get yourself access to how to buy it. Yes, in the U.S., even in the U.S. It's a little complicated, but you gotta do it before Coinbase adds it. All right, just go to roadrooter.com, hit subscribe today, and join this craziness. Speaking of craziness, all sorts of great things are going to come out between now and election day. Election day, if there is an election, I told Jean-Claude that I don't think there will be. I really don't think there will be an election. Trump has just too many aces up his sleeve. And if there is an election, I don't think Joe Biden will be running. So, they'll declare he's got COVID or whatever they're going to do. It's time to put criminals in jail. The whole Mueller team has wiped their phones. Completely illegal. 20 years in prison for doing that. And this was all during the time, this Mueller thing. Mueller belongs in jail. They all belong in jail. They're all part of the deep state. But it has been found out that they all wiped their phones. The funniest thing is the NSA has all that information. They can say what they want. They can't get away with it. The NSA records everything, especially government-issued phones. Especially. So it doesn't matter that they wipe their phones. They're going to have to go wipe the NSA records as well. And who's in charge of the NSA? Trump and the good guys. So there you have it. Nice try, Mueller and team. Mueller's kind of in the Joe Biden camp of kind of checked out anyway. But their team of criminal lawyers absolutely was in bed with Comey's and Brennan's and Strzok and Page and all that. So there's some stuff coming down. And it's going to happen before the election. It's already started. Stuff like this doesn't come out unless it's time. How about the Hunter Biden stuff? It's just, it is going to be a cascade of taking the bad guys down between now and election day, now and the end of the year. And the bad guys are going to throw in some HARP stuff, some weather changes, some financial collapses. Everything's happening now. Just hang on tight. And then, of course, we have the revival. The FBI agent who discovered Hillary's emails on Anthony Weiner's laptop claims he was told to erase his own computer by the Comey FBI. Yep. Comey's going down. And the information on this computer needs not to be seen by the people, but people need to understand just how perverse and horrible the deep state is. The Clintons and the Bushes and the Obamas and all of them. They need to go down. They're going down. Now is the time. Just another thing. A great one, Matt Gaetz calls on Florida AG to investigate Mike Bloomberg for potentially engaging in bribery and vote buying. Bloomberg's going in and bailing out all the criminals in Florida. He is paid so that they'll vote. Former New York Mayor Mike Bloomberg, who committed at least $100 million in Florida, who has committed at least $100 million in Florida towards electing Joe Biden, has raised another $16 million to pay for court fines and fees of nearly 32,000 Black and Hispanic felons so that they can vote in the November election. How is that not vote buying? Where Florida is ridiculous, especially certain districts in Florida. It's a crazy world we're living in. Where do you think Epstein was? One of Epstein's hangouts. Yeah, I know Trump's down there as well. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Apparently, the Epstein flight logs were only partial, only from one of the pilots, the longtime 25-year pilot. Those flight logs have to be produced by the end of the month as well. You're going to see a list of who's who in government, in Hollywood, in the banking system, a who's who cornucopia of pedophiles. You don't think there's going to be some chaos before that comes? They don't want it to come out. You're on that list. If you've ever flown on Epstein's plane, helicopters, Or submarine? Yes, submarine. Yes, Ghislaine Maxwell was a submarine pilot. Yes, it's that insane. Your name's going to come out. And you got some explaining to do. We'll find out, right? We'll find out. Anyway, that's what I got for you today. I got a lot of research to do before my discussion with Jenny Moonstone tomorrow. By the way, if you're a Private Road member, a whole bunch of Jenny Moonstone videos are posted right here. Right under the Theta page is the Jenny Moonstone readings on the road to Ruta. Should I stay or should I go now? Do you need to bug out? I heard Jason F4 talking about a potential EMP stuff through the woo-woo dude, Rich. I think the potential's there, absolutely. I'm doing so much research into the magnetic and electrical draw between planets when they're all aligned. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. So you definitely should have some EMP protection on your electronic devices. You can't cover everything. But look at, like, you can get EMP bags for your computers. I don't even know if they work. Nobody knows if they work until an EMP hits, and then you open up your bag, and is my computer okay or is it not? So we talk about that. We talk about a new adventure, which is really cool. We talk about the future of Theta. Now, Jenny is not a fan of most cryptocurrencies. She taps into the deep state part of the cryptos, which is huge. Deep state is huge in the cryptos. But Theta, she had actually a really positive reading. You guys should check that out. And Mystical Gold and Silver, the Silver Knights, all that stuff. Go check it out. And go to jennymoonstone.com and get yourself a reading. Really good. Really good. I don't know. Yes, she does tarot, but psychic, and she does everything. She knows. She's tapped into something. And it's freedom loving too. So all you patriots out there, you should definitely get a reading from Jenny Moonstone. And that's at jennymoonstone.com. All right, and I'll be talking to her tomorrow and posting it on the Private Road for Private Road members, snippets of the good stuff. I'm posting that on Friday. All right, that's all I got for you. This is Bix Weir, roadtoruta.com. Oh, by the way, like and subscribe, and go to if you don't want to join the Private Road, go to the free subscription place on the website, roadtoruta.com. Put your name and email address in, and I'll send you emails on the excitement that's going on as we go. This is Bix. I'll talk to you guys later.